is the Red Sox POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Boston Red Sox, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, the Red Sox dropped the series opener 2 nights ago against the Texas Rangers. Come back and win the next two, including the finale Thursday afternoon in front of 27,000 plus at Fenway Park. Third combined shutout win of the season for the Red Sox to go 3-3 on their homestand against the Twins and the Rangers. We welcome you to our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast. I'm Steve Lennox, longtime play-by-play announcer. Want to take a moment and thank the guys who led us into Fenway Park that one day back in the mid-1980s just so we could sneak a peek of the field at Fenway. That was truly awesome. We are providing reaction to every Red Sox game on the Locked On Red Sox YouTube channel, as well as the Locked On Red Sox podcast feed, the audio version of Locked On Red Sox postcast, free and available wherever you get your podcasts. On our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast, we talk about Brayan Bello's outing. We talk about a couple of hitters. Yes, Trevor Story and Ceddanne Rafaela perhaps coming around at the plate. Maybe they really get things going on this upcoming road trip through Kansas City and Detroit. We do want to hear from you, our everydayers and our first-timers. Join the conversation, watching live with us on the Locked On Red Sox YouTube channel. Hit that comment button and join the Sox conversation. We invite you to follow us on the Locked On Red Sox YouTube channel. Also follow us. Give us a follow on the X at Lennox on Baseball with questions, comments, or concerns. You can continue the Red Sox conversation on social media. Our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast presented by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So the Red Sox, again, dropping to a game under 500, losing the opener a couple of nights ago, doom and gloom. But the Red Sox sort of backs to the wall, pick up a victory, and even up the series on Wednesday night when the Celtics lost Game 2 of their best-of-7 Eastern Conference semifinal series against the Knicks. No bearing on the Red Sox whatsoever, but thought I'd bring it up. But the Red Sox are now game over 500. Third straight series where they drop the opener or they come back and win the series. That's telling. But the Red Sox able to pick up the victory, scored early against Jack Leiter. And for me, Leiter, and I said this leading into this game, Leiter and Bello very similar. They can show flashes of brilliance, and they can absolutely make you want to pull your hair out.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Brayan Bello does not get credit for the win as he goes 4 2/3 innings. Helped out with a couple of double play ground balls. And granted, they weren't the easiest double play ground balls. Bregman, first and second, going to his left on the left side of the infield, got the force out at second. Then they got the runner caught up between second and third. Lou Merloni was very appreciative, very outgoing for the play that Bregman made. And they get a double play there. Bello had 2 double plays turned behind him. He was teetering. And so was Jack Leiter early on in this game as well. Red Sox get their first 2 runs in the second against Leiter. They do it with a wild pitch and a ground out. Situational hitting. Jarren Duran got the runner in from third, hit the ball hard on the ground to the right side, infield back, 2-0. But Leiter maybe bowed out a little bit. A 1-2-3 third on 8 pitches, a 1-2-3 fourth inning on 9 pitches. Or rather, the bottom of he got his second straight 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the fourth inning, retiring Story, Toro, and Narvaez. But as Alex Cora came to the mound with 2 outs in the 5th inning, and Bello just issued his 5th walk of the game, wanted no part of Joc Pederson. I'm not sure if that was on the scouting report or not. But he walked Pederson, and first Nesson reference, maybe second, already dropped Lou Merloni in there. Bello kind of had his back to Alex Cora, thinking, I don't want to come out of this game. I need one more out to qualify for the victory. Bello was taken out. You don't want to get taken out in that situation. Don't issue 5 walks. Plain and simple. And his pitch count was up there. In the 3rd inning, in the 3rd inning, got a ground ball, left the bases loaded. He was 63 pitches, 33 strikes through 3 innings. In the 4th inning, a 1-2-3 frame on 9 pitches, 72 through 4, and you're thinking, okay, can you get through 6? No, Alex Cora said, you know what? I've seen enough. And at that point, it's a ball game. Red Sox score first, 2 in the second, and then tack on. And did a nice job. Single runs in each of the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings. Rafi Devers, big base hit with 2 outs, adding to the lead. Rafi Devers a stolen base, and then Rafi Devers a home run. What'd you have on your bingo card for Rafi Devers? Did you have Rafi Devers with a stolen base on FanDuel on Thursday? Because he did a little bit of everything in the DH spot. And the bullpen after Bello, solid. And I give credit to Alex Cora, Andrew Bailey, the Red Sox, for thinking a little bit outside the box. Slaten was the first out of the pen. Comes on in the 5th inning, gets the final out, strands base runners. Slaten gets the 6th inning. Lou Merlone talked about it. He had an up and down. Got an out, went to the dugout, sat, came back out. It's not normal for Slaten. Usually he's a 1-inning guy. And then Garrett Whitlock. Whitlock gives up a hit, gives up a walk, strikes out 2. He made you sweat just a little bit, perhaps based on his last couple of outings. Whitlock gives you a scoreless inning. And then Liam Hendriks retires and gets 6 outs on 18 total pitches. I think once it was 5-0, the Rangers were like, you know what? We got a plane to catch. Because Hendriks was certainly helped out. Pitch to contact in those situations. But he got Semien for the 2nd out in the 8th inning. Semien saw 1 pitch. The next batter, Carter, swung first pitch, 5 pitches, 3 outs. And then he took care of business. Hit a batter. Barnhart had a good game in the number 9 spot, on base 4 times with 3 singles and a hit by pitch. But Hendriks gets Smith to fly out, and the ball game's over. The Red Sox win the game with 6 hits total. You take it, you run with it, but you're not going to be able to win consistently that way. I failed to mention on Wednesday the Red Sox struck out just 1 time. They actually walked 4 times in the game against Texas pitching on Thursday. Leiter again. He went 5 1/3, gave up 4 earned runs, walked 4, and threw 90 pitches over 5 1/3 innings. Leiter and Bello, to me, you can nitpick and say, well, they're not mirror images of each other. But Leiter's got a huge arm. Leiter's one of those guys who I think is going to mature, and maybe he follows his father's footsteps. Al Leiter was in the big leagues, I think, at 20, and then really matured and became a pitcher over the course of his career, right? And I think Leiter will end up with a big contract one day based on future potential. But I don't want to say Gausman or Bassett, and I talk about those guys all the time in Toronto. But Leiter, I think, once he hits his late 20s, I think he's really going to take off. If and when, and I think when he ever harnesses his stuff, he gets it up there 97, 98. He can be wild on occasion. And teams wait him out. He was wild in the minors. Doesn't just change overnight where all of a sudden you learn how to paint the corners, work up and down, change the eye level. But I really do think he's got real potential to have a long career and maybe better late in his career. Now, again, he pitched well against, he's pitched well at times, had a blister early on in the season, missed some time on the IL. So he's been sort of snake bitten where, okay, all of a sudden he's putting something together, a couple of, solid starts in a row. And then all of a sudden, hey, there's a bump in the road. But he's kind of like Bello to me. If you look at the pitching lines, and I said it Wednesday night, Bello can give you 6 innings. He gave you 4 2/3 scoreless. He combines with the bullpen on the 3rd shutout win of the season for the Red Sox. They've been all combined efforts. Let's hit the comments. If you're with us on the Locked On Red Sox YouTube channel, hit the comments and join the conversation. G's World checking in first. Let's go. Big series win. Much needed. Absolutely. Back over 500. Don't want to see below 500 again this season. I really don't. I've said it already in April. I'll say it here in May. Don't want to see it again for the Red Sox. Do not be below 500. Nice to see Seti finally showing up. Keep it going, boys. And that's the coming around. Now, you need some length out of your starters here. You got Dobbins, Crochet, Giolito lined up for the Kansas City series. You're going to see 3 straight right-handers. Crochet, Reagans has a chance for a great pitching matchup on Saturday in the middle game of the 3-game set against the Royals in Kansas City. But you need 6 innings here. You can't keep getting 12, 13 outs from the bullpen every single game or, 3 out of every 4 games. Can't live that way. The bullpen has kind of stepped up right here. Last 2 games and 2 wins. But you need some length out of the starters. But Trevor's Story, you're starting to see it. Cedar Rafaela, thank you. And they're applauding Rafaela. I mean, if he gets 2 balls in a plate appearance, I mean, it's almost like you want to give him a gold star. But he's starting to show signs. Hard contact, had a double in the ball game, and go from there. Rafi. Yeah, Rafi picked up a 2-out RBI base hit. That was his RBI. Picked it up, and then a home run later in the game to add on to the lead. 0.66 ERA from our pen this series. Yeah, and after Alex Cora said after, last week, it was a rough week. They've turned it around a little bit this week, but don't hit a bump in the road. And if one guy's going to hit a bump in the road, it's like the bullpen goes into a collective funk. The hitters go into a collective funk. No, you can have a guy in your lineup that might be struggling a little bit. You can have one guy in your bullpen that, might need to get back on track after a couple of bumpy outings. But no, this needs to be more consistent across the board. You can't have guys that you're relying on every single game out of your bullpen, that you have your haves and your have-nots. There's got to be more guys, and Liam Hendriks is starting to come into that role. Now, he worked in a game that was 5-0, but Chapman was up, but he didn't get hot at any point in time, I don't think. 5-0 lead, 1 base runner with 2 outs, that was it. Chapman did not have to really heat up in that 9th inning, and compliment Liam Hendriks for doing that. And Hendriks is starting to become that guy. Maybe he's a 6th inning guy. Maybe it's Slaten. But, Slaten right now, you can't talk about not liking your role. Slaten, pitch where you pitch. Go in there and execute, and he did. Inning in the 3rd, got the win in relief. But Bello, you get 2 outs in the 5th inning, and you're upset. Your manager's coming to pull you. It's not like the first time Alex Cora has done that with Bello or any other pitcher. Had the feel, and that's it. Seen enough. We're not going to try to even get you through 5, let alone try to get another inning out of you. And I'm sorry, you went 4 2/3, and you're not going to qualify for the victory in a game that we have in hand right now, and they really had it in hand once they made it 5-0. So, a good victory. G's World, you're saying you're not getting a video feed. I'm not sure if that's anybody else or not. I'm getting that we're live on it. I've got the video here, so I'm not sure if it's on your end, but I do appreciate the heads up. Nasty Nate Nixon. Might be a dumb question. No dumb questions. I'm the only dumb guy here. This is my first time following an MLB team the entire season. But what are the requirements to get a W as a pitcher? Do you have to pitch at least 5 innings and leave with a lead? Yes, you do. Starting pitcher needs to go a minimum of 5 innings. Now, if Slaten had come in there and thrown 1 pitch in that 5th inning in relief, he would have gotten the win. A starting pitcher needs to go 5. There have been talk in the last couple of years about changing that. There are some people, Nasty Nate Nixon, who want to get rid of the win and loss altogether. Wouldn't be a fan of that. So, not a dumb question. 5 innings. And if I don't have an answer to your question, I'm not going to try to go around it and beat around the bush. I can get you an answer later, perhaps, but that one for me, 5 innings for a starting pitcher. He needed 1 more out. And I think he was perhaps a little bit upset. The reason I say that is because Dave O'Brien and Lou Merloni both sort of alluded to the fact that he had his back to his manager, and that's a sign of disrespect in its own way. It is back to the manager, and he was upset that it wasn't Andrew Bailey. It was Alex Cora coming out there saying, hey, we'll take it from here. We're going to the bullpen. Which player do you think is struggling and is getting talked about? Who do you think is overperforming and not getting talked about enough? It's tough in this lineup. There's been different times, like Casas early on in the year when Devers was struggling. Casas, to me, sort of got a free pass. Jarren Duran is scuffling a little bit right now. He's putting the ball in play, was 0 for 3, picked up an RBI with a ground out, so productive out there. But, Duran in the leadoff spot, he hasn't fully come around. And he reached, I think, in 18 of 19 games and had a couple of decent hitting streaks in there. I think 11 or 12 in a row and 7 in a row. But Duran's at 259 right now. His on-base percentage is 3-11. Those numbers should be better for Jarren Duran. And he was up to 279 during that hot streak, but he's cooled off a little bit right now. Not that he's getting a free pass, but Story struggles, and Story, a hit, a walk, and 2 runs scored. One guy for me right now, you know what? Nasty Nate Nix, I'm going to talk about a guy who, maybe we should be talking about a little bit more in terms of the offense, because he's giving you a ton behind the plate defensively. I think you know who we're talking about. We're going to talk about Carlos Narvaez when we continue. Sox shutout victory, take 2 out of 3 against the Rangers. And the Rangers are a team to pay attention to the next couple of weeks. They want to be within striking distance, don't want to lose too much ground to the Mariners in that AL West. Glad to have you on board. Red Sox pick up the shutout victory, 3rd combined shutout win of the season. We are sponsored by Supply House. Now, simple. With Supply House, you get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trade, Supply House. Whether you're into plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product information to help you get the job done and get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off on your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Locked On Red Sox postcast, also presented by FanDuel. NBA playoffs in full swing, every night delivering highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live. With player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. Are you paying attention right now to the Knicks and Jalen Brunson and his ability to perform in crunch time? Is Nikola Jokic lined up for a playoff triple-double? Well, Anthony Edwards dropped 20 or more in the Timberwolves' next game against the Warriors. These may be bets that you're thinking about placing with FanDuel. Are you new to FanDuel? Perfect time to sign up right now. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. We've got 3 Locked On Red Sox postcasts, also presented by Wonderful Pistachios. Looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios, one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better-for-you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. Hey, you may love the no-shell variety like me. It's the perfect grab-and-go snack for busy days, whether you're snacking at your desk, on a road trip, or just need a quick protein boost. They're always a go-to. And if you love cracking open every shell for that satisfying crunch, well, the in-shell option, they are certainly a classic favorite. Wonderful Pistachios, a complete protein providing all 9 essential amino acids. These little green wonders pack a protein punch. Whether you're running between meetings, dropping off the kids, Wonderful Pistachios, the snack that works as hard as you do. Get snacking, get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. Again, that's wonderfulpistachios.com. So back to the comments we go, and Nasty Nate Nixon wants to know the player struggling and isn't getting talked about, or a guy that you think is overperforming and not getting talked about enough. Try to hit on the guys that are, either feast or famine right now. But Carlos Narvaez, really for me, one of the biggest hits in the game for the Red Sox. And again, what he gives you offensively is gravy. I wonder, and I'm not sold, and I don't know really how long you can go with Toro and Gonzalez as your first base combination. Alex Cora saying before Thursday's finale against the Rangers, Romy Gonzalez banged up a little bit, but expected to be back in there over the weekend. So no IL stint after he had the collision at first base. But Omar Narvaez in the sixth inning made it 4-0 with a 2-out RBI single. And he comes through in big ways. And he might go 1 for 4 here, 1 for 4 there, but a lot of his hits come in the clutch. And I mean, just phenomenal of what the Red Sox were able to do to pick up Narvaez. And you just keep going with him. You know, he had that base hit, and then Rafaela had a single, his second hit of the game, second straight 2-hit game. And that was in the sixth inning as the Red Sox were able to add on there. And that's what you want. And that's what the Red Sox during this most recent difficult stretch that they had got leads and then unable to tack on and add on to leads and take the pressure off the starter and the bullpen as well. Nasty Nate Nixon. While that Bello disrespecting Cora like that, it looked like that's what he was doing. I don't know 100% if that was his intent. And I don't want to say that it was. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, but when you turn your back to your manager coming out of the dugout, traditionally that's what it is. And again, the only one he should be frustrated with was the fact that he walked 5 batters. Cora perfectly within his right to go out and take the guy out of the game and go to the bullpen. Cora is not going to worry about your win-loss record. He's worried about giving, that next hitter coming up and delivering. And Slaten got the job done. Whitlock got the job done. And Liam Hendricks got the job done. But Narvaez, for me, out of the game. Red Sox take 2 out of 3. And, the Red Sox coming into Thursday, we want to talk about the hits. And, fortunate they win the game. And they out-hit the Rangers. Pitchers just allowed the 5 hits total. But the Red Sox had walked 8 total times in the previous 6 games. Do I want to lead every single Locked On Red Sox postcast off and make it a huge theme that the Red Sox aren't walking enough? 4 guys walked, 4 walks total. Again, less than 10 strikeouts. You strike out 8 or 9 times in the game, you should be in a pretty good spot to win. You strike out 10 or more times in a game, you're putting yourself in a bad spot in terms of pulling out a victory. But the walks have been few and far between. 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position. That's a number of the day, but you win the game. And again, they tacked on 2 runs early on with a wild pitch and a ground out, and then you add from there. So now it's on the road, 6 in a row, 6 straight, and then 10 in a row at home. Atlanta, New York, the Mets, and the Orioles on the next homestand. That's a 10-game homestand. But 6 in a row on what is not an easy road trip through Kansas City and Detroit. And I believe you're lined up to see Tarek Skubal during the Detroit series as well. But the Royals have been playing winning baseball. The Royals had lost 6 straight games. And all of a sudden now, they're on track. They lost 6 in a row to drop to 8-14. They're playing the White Sox today. Don't have a score update. But going into Thursday's finale against the White Sox, 14-2 over a 16-game stretch. Dobbins, Michael Lorenzen for the series opener on Friday in Kansas City. Night game Saturday, Crochet and Reagans. That could be a great one. And you really want to see. Seth Lugo had a rough outing at Fenway last year against the Red Sox. Now, that's a thing of the past. But really looking to see what Lucas Giolito does to rebound from what was not a great outing his last time out. So, Lucas Giolito. He gave you a real good performance in Toronto for his first start of the season in his Red Sox debut. Last time out against the Twins, not so much. But the Red Sox right now need length. Can you get 6 out of Dobbins? Can you get back to getting a legit 6 or maybe even 7 out of Crochet on Saturday? Against a Royals offense that for a long time was just Bobby Witt Jr. and then everybody else. But now they're starting to come around. They had a franchise record 7 home runs. They had the fewest home runs in baseball. And then all of a sudden they hit a franchise record 7 last weekend against the Baltimore Orioles. So we're going to be on board with you Friday night within minutes of the last out of game 1 of the 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Royals. The Red Sox will try to make it 3 straight wins. And we'll be on board with you all weekend long and through the series next week in Detroit against the Tigers. Next off day for the Red Sox, a week from today, next Thursday, when they'll wrap up the road trip in Detroit on Wednesday of next week, and then have an off day Thursday before a 10-game homestand at Fenway a week from Friday. Locked On Red Sox, number one place to hang out immediately after every game. Locked On Sports, your team, your Red Sox, every day. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, everybody.